Oh, you know what? If they were Sean John sweatpants, it would have been fine, but because they're Costco brand, it's like the worst thing I could do.
Have you ever looked at someone doing their retail job and wondered, what is going on inside their head? What little nugget of information are they sitting on? And why won't they bless us all with their wisdom? Well, wonder no more, because here are the top 10 Costco employees' hidden secrets you did not know. Part 2. Working at Costco is better than going to the gym.
So I currently work at a gym.
How many of you have experienced a lack of time to do basic exercise because of your busy schedule, like take a walk or hit the gym once in a while? Well, walking around 5 to 8 miles per shift, Costco employees sure don't have that problem when it comes to staying in shape. They have to stay on their feet for the majority of the day, cater to customers' needs, run back and forth in the giant warehouse, and do a lot of manual labor. It's like an all-day gym pass. So it's kind of like you're getting paid to exercise.
What? It's a dream, Morty.
However, it's not always rainbows and butterflies. You know, all those 50-pound bags of flour and endless pallets of cat litter and dog food? Well, they have to be stacked by someone, don't they? Stacking goods way up to the ceiling can cause a lot of strain on the body, as many employees have attested. Well, good thing the job comes with health insurance, that's for sure. Constantly piling up merchandise on the shelves and staying sharp on your feet are all part of this challenging job, which also helps employees stay fit without even having to leave their workplace.
Looks healthy.
Your membership can be revoked.
Promise revoked.
It's no secret that you should always be kind and courteous to people working in retail. It's just common sense. It's also not a secret that you should be as equally mindful of the establishment, i.e., not destroy the merchandise or trying to shoplift any product. In extreme circumstances, Costco employees are allowed to revoke your membership if you're not abiding by the store's rules. So if you're caught stealing or are involved in any kind of physical altercation inside the store, you can say bye-bye to your privileges as a member. Honestly, that sounds like something that should be implemented at every store. Costco even hires fake customers to go around and pretend to shop to catch the potential culprits.
Attention, everybody, eyes on me. Hi.
Even though employees find that these spies are usually pretty easy to spot, they still rely on them to report any sort of misbehavior. Now, if someone commits a less severe infraction, like being verbally aggressive or being a frequent over-returner, it'll be noted in a little comment section. But they won't be asked to hand over their memberships. Yet. Although maybe they should be in some cases. One thing is for sure, though, if you're rude to the good people at Costco, they may forgive.
But never, ever forget.
Free samples are unlimited.
Eat as much as you can.
Raise your hand if you've ever agreed to go to Costco just so you could walk around and try every single free sample stand you saw. Well, you're probably not the only one. The free samples are probably one of the coolest perks of shopping at Costco. But did you know that you could actually take as many samples as you want without feeling guilty? Since a limit on treats can't be enforced, you can stuff yourself with the whole tray of mini hot dogs if you want. Sample employees who are not part of Costco's staff are even encouraged to distribute as many free samples as they can. So it doesn't matter if you eat 1 or 8 all by yourself. The more the merrier seems to be the motto here.
Free sample, all right?
I'm on it.
But it might make the process of asking for another taste easier if you're particularly nice and polite with the sample stand worker. You no longer need to walk around the store aimlessly and pretend to be a different person if you want another piece of that cheese. Just go ask. You don't need a disguise. They will gladly give you as many little cups of cheese as you want. In May of 2020, Costco had to say goodbye to the in-store food sample as a response to the growing pandemic. But luckily, they've slowly brought back some sampling, only now they feature packaged goods. You know what? Free cookies and breadsticks?
We'll take it.
There's a hidden convenience store.
I'll show you where they are.
The break room, a place where mysterious and magical things happen, or so we'd like to think. But in Costco's case, it might just be true. While employees are typically allowed to eat their lunches in the food court with the rest of the customers, some prefer the quiet and peaceful atmosphere of the break room, or they simply don't fancy pizza or hot dogs as their daily meals. And for a good reason. Let's just say that in some locations, the break rooms look more like mini convenience stores than actual employee rooms, with rows and rows of vending machines filled with fresh meals, snacks, and sodas. It's like they have their own personal little convenience store designed just for them. With reasonable prices and a complete kitchen to prepare your meals with your own groceries, Costco employees have everything they need to relax and enjoy their breaks. The break rooms are not the same at every Costco, and the new designs haven't been implemented at all the stores yet, but it's definitely something that should catch on as the new trend. You know how whenever a store has a good idea, it gets picked up by everybody else? Well, here's to hoping the break room at your workplace gets a makeover this cool pretty soon.
Hey guys, lunch break in 10.
You don't actually need a membership card.
No way.
If you don't feel ready to commit to a year-long membership, or if you simply don't plan on going to Costco often enough, worry not. You can still enjoy quite the shopping experience nonetheless. You don't actually need to pay the full $60 annual fee to benefit from the wonderful finds at Costco. There are, in fact, many loopholes to go around the system. The most obvious one is to go with a family member or a buddy who's already a member. They're allowed to bring up to 2 guests with them when they're shopping, so you can just tag along and snack on the free samples without even spending a dime if you want. But if you like having your independence, you can ask that same buddy to buy you a Costco shop card, which allows you to roam the alleys freely without having to be accompanied by a member.
Pretty neat.
Especially if you just want to buy 1 or 2 things from time to time, like those giant peanut butter jars. Yum. But regardless of those approaches, if you just want some alcohol, an eye exam, to fill your prescription at the pharmacy, or even shop online, you can do so without any worry. Just stroll down to your local Costco to get the goods. Sadly, you can no longer eat at the food court without a membership, the end of an era beloved by the non-members. If you want that Costco hot dog, you can't bypass the rules, unless maybe you ask your buddy to buy you one.
But you have to pay me back.
You can order your food at the register.
First come, first serve.
You know that long and endless line for the food court you dread every time you go to Costco, but still stand in just because you can't get enough of that mighty pizza? Well, turns out you can actually avoid a great part, if not all, of the line by just ordering your food at the register while you're paying for your groceries. Mind-blowing, right? No more waiting around for that hot dog combo with your arms full.
Nay.
All you have to do is ask the cashier to scan what you want on the clipboard menu next to the register. The price will be added to your receipt. Then go over to the pickup area, show your receipt, and voila! You can have your Costco feast without all the fuss of waiting in the never-ending line like a mere commoner. Sure, if it's a busy day and some other people also know this little hack, you might wait a little bit, but it'll still be significantly faster, that's for sure. Over are the days of having to say no to your precious pizza because you were in a hurry and the line was too long. A hidden little hack, perfect if you hate waiting.
Next!
Avoid Sundays like the plague.
Not too early, I sleep in Sundays. Oh, McFly, your shoes untied!
This is something every Costco employee will tell you if you ask them when's the worst time to go do your shopping. Actually, pretty much any retail employee will tell you the same thing. Sundays are, without a doubt, the busiest days at Costco. Shopping there during peak hours is sure to give your body the biggest fight-or-flight response as you navigate through the frenzied crowd in search of your jumbo bag of chips. If you want to avoid the loud, cramped, and chaotic crowd, maybe it's best you avoid certain hours of the day. Many Costco employees have reported that, aside from the obvious weekends, Mondays are a close second when it comes to busy days to shop. They advise people who want a calm and quiet shopping experience to come on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, or Thursdays, as they tend to be the least crowded days of the week. But it's not just about the day, but also about the time. If you're planning to go to Costco during lunch hour, you also need to expect the ridiculously huge number of people who think just like you. The best time to shop at Costco is probably anywhere between 3 to 5 p.m., right after the lunch hour, but right before the end of work rush. A perfect balance. However, if you're willing to risk it all for the free samples, then Sunday it is.
That's a tough choice.
Your coupon book is useless.
I really want that coupon book.
Coupons are undoubtedly one of the best ways to save money when you're planning your grocery shopping spree. But let's be honest, it can get a little irritating having to cut every single coupon to put in your binder. Or worse even, when you forget to do so and you have to awkwardly rip them off on the side of the counter while the line grows impatiently behind you. Well, Costco found the one solution to this annoyance, and the employees are telling you to leave your coupons at home. That's right, you don't need to drag around that big binder full of coupons, even if you're an avid couponer. If there's a deal at the store, it'll automatically be applied when the cashier scans the article, which is literally ingenious.
That's what I'm talking about!
When you receive your Costco booklet in the mail, you can just circle what interests you, make a list, and then just head down to Costco to scavenge the store in search of big red tags, and there you go. But why print a booklet at all if it's all marked up at the store anyway? Well, they'll still need to scan the barcode to ensure that all of your coupons are applied, but then again, there's an app for that, so why print it at all? Probably for the people who actually do bring their booklets everywhere and actually enjoy couponing. But for those forgetful ones out there, the app is there to save the day. So don't worry about your coupon cutting technique and just enjoy the savings.
Balance here on the total is negative $884. We actually owe her money.
They sell COVID-19 kits online.
I know a lot of us have been feeling under the weather lately. It's that time of year.
In the midst of this dreadful pandemic, Costco has come up with a safe and reliable way to get tested for COVID-19 from the comfort of your own home. And yes, it was authorized by the FDA. This DIY kit is a telemedicine platform made by a company called Azova, which consists of a saliva test for the modest price of $129.99. Add an extra $10 if you want one with a video observation. Okay, maybe not that modest, but it still beats getting a Q-tip jammed in your nose. Now, while they haven't been fully approved by the FDA yet, they were still authorized to be put on the market considering the urgency of the situation. And these kits aren't available just to anyone. You will need to complete a health assessment as well as an online questionnaire to determine if you're eligible to order one. Now, it's not exactly a secret per se, but not many people are aware that these types of kits are available at their favorite store. Turns out, you really can find everything at Costco.
Just made my weekly run to Costco.
COVID-19 regulations overlooked? Because of the pandemic that's been ravaging our lives for the last several months, everybody has had to make compromises and adapt to a new way of living. And that includes big corporations like Costco. Last October, however, some employees at a Canadian store decided to quit and call out the wholesale giant for not being as transparent with their customers as they claim to be. Improper sanitation, unenforced mask policies, and irregular social distancing have all been reported by multiple employees, saying Costco was not following the government-mandated pandemic protocol. As much as Costco claims to be blunt and honest with its customers, the same store failed to mention that one of their employees had tested positive for COVID-19 and was told to just keep on working until the end of his shift. That doesn't sound very honest now, does it? And on top of that, the staff members claimed that there had been no disinfection or shutdowns following their colleague's positive test. Yes, working for a decent salary and having insurance sounds heavenly, but is it really worth putting your health in jeopardy? Tap that screen for another great video, and to all our subscribers, thanks, and be sure to ring that notification bell.